Olivia could write.
Yeah.
We are thrilled that she's here tonight. This is her first reading. She's actually reading the book this evening.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Olivia Munn.
Thank you so much. Very nice thing to say. So if you guys want to go to your hymnals, first of all, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
It was for everyone, but you were it's been a little bit crazy for me lately, and I know that people have been wondering where I've been at. And if you've been following, as a real fan would, you know I'd be on The Daily Show, and I'm going on to do my NBC show, and I hope to be at Attack of the Show. Again, very soon I'll be there, definitely next Monday, maybe even this Monday. We'll see. But it means so much to me to have you guys all here, and you guys come to my signings, and then there's a few of you that I see come to. All of them. Do you not have fucking jobs? What the fuck is up with that? But I'm here reading for the first time, so I asked them to ask you guys which chapters you wanted to hear, so I think I'm starting with chapter 8. The first rule of...
Great chapter.
Oh, I'm glad you liked it. Shh. Chapter 8. The first rule of kindergarten is that you have to bribe kids to let them play with you. I know, isn't it sad? By the way, these are all true stories, which is why you need to feel bad for me later. Do you want to read with me?
Sure, yeah.
I'm happy you're here. When I was 2, my mom remarried. When I was 2, 3, 2. When I was 2, my mom married her second husband. He had 2 kids, and one of them was Annie, a girl around the same age as me. She was beautiful. She had long blonde hair, light eyes, and was very girly and sweet. I was the polar opposite. Polyester pants, striped boy, long john shirts, and long tangled black hair. Not girly at all. At 4, we went into kindergarten together. I remember she wore her favorite yellow dress with these ruffly bloomers underneath and her hair in 2 perfect pigtails. She was so excited for school and friends and learning. And then there was me. Blue, polyester pants, red striped sweater, hair pulled into a ponytail because it was too tangled really to do anything else. And the only thing we had in common, it seemed, was that I was equally excited about meeting new friends. And skin. We both had skin over our bones. So there were 2 things we had in common. On the first day of school, Mom drops us off at the door of the classroom and turns to leave. Annie and I walk into the classroom and follow the teacher's instructions to hang our backpacks on the hooks and pick a seat at the table. I hurried over and threw my backpack somewhere and went to find a seat and maybe, I don't know, a new best friend. Yay! I head for one seat and almost reach it when the girl sitting next to me puts her hand on it and says, "This isn't for you." I turned and looked for the next open seat. There were just 2 left. One was at a table full of girls and the other was at a table full of boys. And like most girls at this age, I hated all boys except for my brothers. One of the girls at the all-girl table motioned for me to come sit with them. I smiled, relieved. I dodged the alternative and grabbed the seat. Before I could sit down, the girl looks at me confused and says, "Do you guys want me to get that?" "Oh, you. You, the one who wanted me to read the fucking story in the first place."
She has cancer. Leave me alone.
Okay, great. A lot of people have cancer, and they're not here with their phones, are they? Who else here has cancer?
There you go. I'm nice.
Yeah, I see a guy back there. Son's phone's back. Dad back there has cancer. Guess what? His phone's off. It's not even on vibrate. Do you want me to? You want to take that call? You good? Let's just take some pictures and signing and shit. You ruined it for everyone.
Boo.
Now I lost my place. Oh, life's so hard. Would you like to say sorry out loud? Would you like to stand up, tell everyone your name, and say sorry? Yes.
Yeah.
Come on, stand up.
I'll say sorry.
Oh, what's your name? Javier. Oh,
Javier.
you look like a Javier. That's okay. My phone's always on anyways. I get in trouble a lot too. Where was I? Oh, that's right. People were hating me in school. Okay. Yes. So basically there's the all-girl table, and then there's the all-boy table, and then I see a girl at the all-girl table, and she's like, "Oh, come sit here." And I'm really excited because I don't want to go sit with the boys. So I go in to sit down, and then right before I sit down, the girl looks at me confused and says, No, not you. Her. And Then I looked and Annie was walking up behind me and took the seat at the table, and I went to sit with the boys. This isn't for you. Those words still make me want to throw up and cry and develop a prescription drug habit that I know won't really help me in the long run, but will bring sweet, sweet relief in the moment. As the months went on in this class, I watched Annie make lots of friends, and every teacher doted on her. Annie was always great at being lovable and pretty and smart, and I could see how much adults loved her. They loved it so much it made me not want to be like that at all. Why couldn't adults be nice to me simply because I was a little girl who just tried to do the right thing? Just because I didn't always wear perfect dresses with the perfect matching bow didn't mean that I wasn't a sweet girl too. From very early on in my life, I realized how most people are nicer to prettier people. That's interesting, considering what's going on now, isn't it? I know that sounds horrible, but think about it. Look around. Look at how you act with attractive people. It's like a fucking moth to a flame. A gorgeous, beguiling, astonishingly attractive flame. Little Annie with her sweetness oozing out of her pretty pigtails was hard not to love. And little Olivia with her freckles and mismatched leggings was a little easier to overlook. I don't think it means we're bad people for catering to the perfect. I honestly don't think it's a conscious decision, but when you've been on the other side of it, the side that is pushed out of sight, you do become very aware. In this kindergarten class, there was a playhouse in the back corner, and because it was a small, enclosed area, the teacher had a rule that only 5 kids were allowed to play at house at one time. And to keep it fair, it was the 5 who got to the house first who could play in it. Now, playing house was my favorite game. I loved acting out different parts of the family and play cooking and cleaning, so every playtime I would race to the back corner and jump into the house. "We've got one!" I would yell, and the other girls would race to the house, and every day there'd be 1 too many girls who wanted to play, and every day the other 5 girls, including Annie, would turn to me and say, "We don't have room for you, and we want to play." So with what little pride I had at 4 years old, I would hold my head high and act as if I didn't really want to play. Oh, I know. I didn't want to play house. I was just holding it for you guys. Couldn't you just die? It crushed my heart every single day. I didn't understand it. I was always nice to everyone, I swear. I ended up realizing through life that at that age, kids looked at Annie and me as 2 sisters to choose from, on one or the other. And for whatever reason, I never got to be the one they wanted. I remember once Annie coming home with a birthday invitation from one of the girls in class. She handed it to my mom and asked if she could go buy a present for the birthday girl. My mom turned to me and asked if I wanted to go pick out a present too. I told her that I actually hadn't been invited. I remember the look on my mom's face. Pure anger. She picked up the phone and called the girl's mother and asked how she could invite one sister but not the other. That phone call earned me my own invitation to the party, but I didn't want it. I knew it was a pity invite, and I would much rather be at home playing Legos with my brother than be with some girl who didn't want me there. Yes, I was hurt, and yes, it was embarrassing to see my mother so confused with the fact that I wasn't invited. I was less confused. I knew that I just didn't fit in. Then, one day after I was kicked out of the playhouse yet again, I came up with a plan. I think I'm smart, like Javier. It was a genius plan. You see, there was no baby doll in the playhouse. Every playhouse needs a baby doll, right? So that night I took all the books and papers out of my backpack and stuffed my Cabbage Patch doll into it. The next day, playtime was called and I got up and ran to the house just like I did every day. I was hoping I wouldn't have to resort to plan B. I was hoping that maybe this day would be different. Maybe this was the day they wanted to play house with me, or at the very least be short one person and could let me stay. I stood out in front of the house, hopeful, and counted 5 girls walking up. It was time for plan B. I went over to the hooks and grabbed my backpack and pulled out my doll. I was sitting directly in their line of sight, and then I unfolded my brilliant plan. I began playing with my baby doll by myself, making really big, oversized gestures and rocking her and laughing and cooing loudly so they could hear. There. Out of the corner of my eye, I could see them stop playing and notice me. They were whispering. It was working. I continued to play as if I didn't see them at all. Then one of the girls walked out of the house and came over to me. "Hi, can we use your baby doll? We don't have one." Aha, ha. She walked right into my baby doll trap. So stupid. "Yeah, you can use it," I responded, playing it cool. "You can use it if you let me play with you guys." She looked at me, and then looked at the doll,